What's up, guys? This is Boulevard the Fell-Handed, and this is Art of the T-54L Part 5. Here we are on Insk Standard Battle. The greens have spawned on the north, and the reds have spawned on the south. Now, most of your lightly armored tanks, I find in my experience, are well suited to the larger open maps, rolling fields, what have you, so they can kind of get hull down and make some things happen. We don't really have that a lot here, but on the other hand here, we do have some piles of rubble, things like that you can kind of take cover from. Now, my idea here is you kind of have two schools of thought. You can go down the open field here, kind of what I'm doing, or you can go through the city. The downside about the city is you're not going to have a lot of room for error. If you go around a corner and there's 3 tanks sitting there, well, you know what, you're going to take 3 shots. So that's kind of my situation right here. So right now I'm kind of trying to get stuck in early, trying to get some spots in early. There's not a lot going on my flank. I went ahead and moved up halfway, spotted a few things, put a round in, and you know, now I'm leaving. And guys, do not be afraid to fall back from a flank that no one is pushing. And that's kind of the downside with these tanks. You know, it takes a few seconds for the heavies to push up into position. So you can be in position and scouting around and be dead before the heavies get in position. So, you know, that's kind of what I was doing. Now, normally, you know, if you're in a heavy tank, you can wait. You can kind of see what's going on, see which way the wind is blowing, and go in whichever direction you feel you will have the best chance of surviving. And guys, don't be the Rambo, don't be the hero in any tank, and don't be the one guy to push that flank and then, you know, be raging at the end of the match. Well, you know, somebody had to push it. Don't be that guy. Don't push the flank, okay? Speaking of your mental health, it will be incredibly better for your mental health. You won't rage as much, you know, just don't push the flank. So right now, I'm kind of being very cautious, which is what you need to do in this tank, in light tanks in particular, because, you know, like I spoke previously, you have 2/3 of the Holy Trinity. You have mobility, you have the gun, but you do not have the armor. Now, you know, you don't really necessarily have the gun. The gun on par is typically not on par with other tier 8s, so the gun's not really there, but you do have strong mobility, no armor, and an okay gun. Let's go ahead and say okay. You just kind of have to pick and choose your shots. Now you notice I am running AP into this guy's armor, so as long as you aim your rounds in, you can do kind of well. I just kind of pulled out to see if I could fake the guy into a shot, and he ends up putting one in me. So that's, you know, the downside of the thin armor of this tank. It's thinner than normal. It's thinner than, you know, a lot of the other T-54-esque tanks. Your T-54, your, you know, Type 59, which is obviously a Russian tank as well with a Chinese name. So a lot of people kind of think that you're going to get a T-54, a baby T-54 with this tank, and that could not be further from the truth. It's not even in the same class. Totally different tank. This tank is more like the RU, for example, the RU-251. I guess if I had to just put a pin on it. At any rate, now you saw me take a clutch shot there, and that was more along the lines of, let me get the heck out of here and put a round in this guy. And that's perfectly fine, guys. You know, I'm normally not a big advocate of, you know, third person, no scope, you know, lock on type of situations. Sometimes though, it does have its uses. If you're trying to get out of somewhere and you want to just send one down the range there, yeah, sure, go ahead, lock it on, pull the trigger, see what happens. Now guys, with light tanks in close quarters like this, you really have to have excellent situational awareness. You need to make sure no one's going to run up on you. As you can see, it just happened to me. He ran up on me, he fired, put one into the ground, and I'm in trouble right here unless I can somehow wiggle my way out of this, and I do. That is, you know, one of the few things I'm halfway decent at is being quite slippery. Somebody just fired to the rear of me there. I shouldn't even pulled out here. I should have just kept going. But you know what? I chose to press my luck. And in the end, I'll pay for it by getting shot. Moving on. You know, at any rate, we had a decent game. It wasn't fantastic, but it was decent. You know, not necessarily spectacular. I have had a lot of spectacular games in this tank. I don't have them recorded, of course. I made these when I was sick, and I was bound and determined to make a video series out of these. So, you know, nevertheless, here we go. 1854, not really spectacular. Didn't really do any spotting, any assists like that. But you know what, guys? Every game can't be Shakespeare. See you guys next time.